Hello crafty friend, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be making a beautiful hummingbird card with the Delicate Floral Hummingbirds die. That's this one. And it makes this beautiful 5x7 card front and also some adorable little hummingbirds. So yes, today's card is going to be a 5x7 and I'm going to assemble everything on the main piece and then add it to my card base in just a little bit. First of all, I just want to say if you haven't checked out Bibi's collection with the hummingbirds, you're going to want to if you are a hummingbird person or really someone who likes kind of like the delicate florals of it all, because this is such a beautiful collection and it's perfect for spring and summer and even some Mother's Day cards. I know that Mother's Day is coming up next month, so if you're looking for something that you can make for the mother or grandma or aunt in your life, or maybe you are the mother, aunt, or grandma and you're making something for someone else, go ahead and check it out because it's so pretty. But it also makes beautiful birthday cards, thank you cards. Really, the stamp set that goes with this collection really keeps this kind of limitless for the occasions. So that's just wonderful. Now this hummingbird is just so adorable. Especially I think this one the best because it has its wings open. It reminds me of the large one. And if you're interested in hummingbirds and card making, I have a couple other videos on my channel already with some awesome cards from this collection. Now there is a pop-up in this collection, so I have already done the pop-up video. It's on my channel. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you're here because you're a 5x7 crafter and you're wondering what I'm making. So, you know, there's all these possibilities. But if you are here for the hummingbirds and you haven't checked out that pop-up, make sure you do. I think it's going to sell out because I think it's going to be so popular. And then there's the large hummingbird, which makes a card just as a bird if you wanted to do that. That is really beautiful as well. So again, if you are a card maker or hummingbird person, definitely check that one out. Now, as I go on to make the next piece on this head, I am going to use an alcohol marker because I, in my lovely smart ways, have lost the eyeball for this hummingbird head. Now you can see it's just going to be a hole. So instead of punching out another one, I'm going to take a alcohol marker and just color where the eye is going to be. Is this the most high tech? No, but this is the reality of what I'm doing. So just let you know. Anyway, this alcohol marker, I only have one of these. It's a Cali Art. I just have a black, so I don't even know where this came from. I think it was from an alcohol marker pack that I used to have, but I do use Copics mostly. But for this, I might as well just use it because I only have a black in that marker brand anyway. So there you have it. Now, when I put on the face piece, that black should be covered up. At least I am hoping and praying. Otherwise, I'll be cutting out another gold mirrored head for my hummingbird. Looks like I got lucky enough this time and it will cover. Be still my beating heart. Okay. So that is my first hummingbird done. Now I'm going to go on to my next hummingbird. Now this one is basically with the same pieces, but it's just going a different direction. So I'm just going to follow the outline on the green for placement. Oops, I was supposed to put the tail on first and the wing. Again, I told you I am showing you the reality of this, so excuse the mistakes. I am lucky enough that my glue was not dry before I realized this time. Hasn't always happened that way. If 5x7 cards aren't really your thing, you could use this die anyway because you can make these adorable hummingbirds just as themselves and you can use these flowers. with the hummingbird. You can also cut this piece down if you want. It just kind of depends on what you like and kind of how far out of the box you are willing to try things with. I'm going to do the same thing with that black alcohol marker for the head, and it looks like that's a good placement. I'm going to put just a teeny bit more on the top. Okay. Then I'll add glue to the face piece and my second hummingbird will be done. Hooray! I just had so much fun with that pop-up card, and I also used this die on the pop-up card, so that will be more inspiration for you. And I also used this background 5x7 die on the large hummingbird card as well. All right, now I'm ready to work on the flowers. So to make the flowers, the big ones, I used some sparkly paper. Now this was the pink one. So I'm just going to put it where I think that they're going to go and just stick those on first. And then I'm going to build my flower up kind of from the top down. Build my flowers, I should say. There's 3 of them. And I just had this pink glitter paper in my pink scrap bin, so I thought, you know, why not pull out a little bit of glitter for a springy, summery card. I just love sparkly and glitter, and I also used some glitter paper for the actual flower part as well. So next I'm going to put down those yellow pieces, and then we get to put down the pretty white sparkle paper. To add all of my pieces on, I'm using my reverse tweezers and my Barely Art liquid glue, which is just perfect for really all die cutting. I always am using my reverse tweezers and my Barely Art liquid glue because it works for me. The reverse tweezers help me to place things correctly and really kind of get my fingers out of the way of what I am looking at, and the glue dries quick but not too quick. It dries clear. I love it. It just works, you know? It's kind of like a perfect little pairing for me. Do you have that? I wonder, am I crafting alone with those 2 things? If you have something like that in your crafty toolbox, I'd love to know, what is your go-to combination for gluing? Maybe it's the art glitter glue. I used to use that all the time. I loved it, but right after like the COVID stuff was kind of over, for whatever reason, the price kind of went up online for that glue. And then I live in Minnesota and they weren't shipping it in the winter time because it can freeze in the mailbox. I shouldn't even say winter time because technically it is spring right now, and today on April 6th is when I'm filming this video. It's still below freezing, so anyway, it was expensive. It wasn't shipping to me, so I branched out and tried Barely Art liquid glue, and I love it. It is more reasonable. I can get it shipped to me all the time. Not saying that it won't freeze, because it probably would freeze in a mailbox, but such is life. Yeah, but I typically order it from Spellbinders anyway, so if it's coming to me, it's coming in a big package with all sorts of other goodies, so, you know, more insulation for the chances of freezing, I guess, but I really love using it. Now with these flowers that I'm adding on, some of them I'm going in front of the wing, some I'm having the wing go behind it. It just kind of depends on what my paper is allowing me to do. This one I'm going to go in front of again, just because that is glued down. But if you are looking for your hummingbirds to be on top of everything, I suppose you could just glue on your hummingbirds after you're done with all the other pieces, but I did not do that for this video. Next I'm going to put on the leaves, and the leaves that I die cut out, I wasn't the biggest fan of the paper I used, but such is life. And the reason why is because it is the white core paper. So if you are a paper crafter, maybe you know the white core sometimes doesn't look the best for die cutting because you can see the white inside, as in the core. But I am going to make it work because I like the color of it, and I don't have any other cardstock right now that has the same look. So I'm just going with it, you know, making it work and shopping my own stash and scrap pile, because I am certain that if you were watching this video and you were a paper crafter, you probably have a scrap pile of your own. Maybe not, you know, the same as everybody's, but everybody seems to have different amounts of scrap. And, you know, I'm kind of in between. I like to save scraps, but I am not saving the tiniest pieces. There's just kind of a point, if you will, like a line we're drawn in the sand, which I can't keep everything, but some people are very serious about their scraps. So I'm curious, if you're watching this video, leave me a comment. Are you someone who is a serious scrap saver, or are you just kind of casual like me and have, you know, maybe a little stash of each color? But, you know, some people are out there saving Kleenex boxes, and they are really getting into the scrap life of it all. And if that's you, you go. You go, crafter. But I don't know. I don't feel like I have the room for it all. But I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of inspiring to see what people do with scraps of paper. And sometimes people even take packaging from like food boxes. I saw a card that someone made with a die cut, and it was kind of an intricate die, so you couldn't quite tell what it was. But they used an Oreo cookie wrapper to make it, and I was just kind of like, huh, that's pretty creative, you know? How beautiful is the human mind? Now for the little flower placement, I am just going to follow the inspirational picture that comes with this die and just put the flowers where Bibi has put them herself, just because I think it looks very pretty the way she had it, and I didn't count out the exact flowers, so hopefully I didn't put too many dots of liquid glue down, but if that's the case, I may have to die cut some more. We'll see. I do plan on putting little rhinestones on the flowers, just because I did not really want to die cut out the little centers for the flowers. It really wasn't something I was excited about, so I just thought, nope, I'm gonna skip that part. And I did just wipe that off thinking I was out of flowers, but there's a flower hiding in plain sight right there. Next, I'm gonna put this onto my card base. I just love the way that looks. And I'm just gonna see. Yes, there it is. Now that I have this all made, I am not loving the blue background. So we're gonna just pivot, and I'm actually going to use some ink blending, and we'll just kind of really turn things around here. Okay, alrighty, I have my paper now, and I'm really gonna kind of pivot here and just kind of go with what I am feeling. So this is my piece, right? So I would like to make some kind of a pinky yellow sky just to kind of go with this. I don't really feel like I'm going to use abandoned coral, but let's just see what happens when I start ink blending. The worst comes to worst, I can use this somewhere else, so we'll see. Maybe this won't even make it into the video. Here's a few tips for ink blending. I am not an expert on ink blending, so just take this all with a grain of salt. I like to use a paper like this because I do not like to get fingerprints on the actual part that I am inking up. And for the ink blending tools, I guess I'm using this brush. I think I got this set on Amazon. There's definitely some you could pick up from other craft places, but these are the ones I have. They're okay. Don't love them, but they work, you know. I know for ink blending, it's important to make sure you have enough ink down so it actually blends. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like patchy like it does down here. So I really try to get enough ink on the paper to really kind of work it in and make sure that there's enough there to blend. Now I'm just going to blend this down about 2/3 of the way down, and then I'm going to bring in that mustard seed. Actually, I'm going to bring in the mustard seed now and then work the mustard seed up, because I don't want to get the yellow mustard seed color kind of mixed in with the raspberry. So I'm going to start with the lighter color. You know, this is reminding me of my middle school art teacher, dear Mrs. George. A lot of people saw her as a little bit of a kook, but very endearing and sweet lady. So she would always tell us, she would actually teach us a lot of art concepts in song. And now as a kindergarten teacher, I relate to that so much. So love that. But she would have us sing, dark goes into light, dark goes into light, mixed with a knife. So I will spare you the singing of my voice for that. But she would say, dark goes into light, and then mix with a knife, mix with a knife. So instead of mixing with a knife, because this is not acrylic paint, we're going to mix with a blending brush. But the concept still applies. Dark goes into light. The dark is the pink, yellow is the light. Therefore, dark is going into the light, because that is just the way it goes. It works. That's the way it will work. Okay, now I'm already seeing a little bit of blending between the picked raspberry and mustard seed. Every time, by the way, every time I see picked raspberry, I think pickled raspberry. I don't know. Anyway, I like the blending that's happening here. So I'm just going to make sure I have a ton of this yellow down before I bring in the pink again, because I think once I have this yellow down, that's going to be it for my yellow. Mustard seed, sorry, mustard seed. And these distress oxides are just so lovely for blending. And yeah, Ranger really has the market on these oxides, because everybody and their mother who is blending is using these. So it's just, they work very well, you know. Okay, let's grab the picked raspberry, not pickled raspberry, again, and blend down. And I'm going to make sure I have enough ink here, because I have a feeling that I'm going to get some yellow on my blending brush. So, you know, kind of mix it in. And I don't want a harsh line. And this is the background after all, not the main piece, so that's okay. Kind of soften my pressure a little as I blend down, slash up, bring in some of that yellow tone from the mustard seed, up and out. My friend Caroline was the one who first kind of sparked my interest with card making as an adult. And the first card that we made at her house in her craft room was an ink blended card, and I was just kind of mesmerized by the way the colors work together. And I still have that first card, and I don't think I will ever send that card or ever sell it, because it is just kind of sentimental to me. So there's that. Now I am really happy with the way that this is looking in person. I think it looks better than on camera, from what I can tell here, but it kind of has like a little bit of the lightness and a kind of like a cloud effect on the top, and I like that it has the gradient. I'm just adding a little bit more of that yellow in the bottom. There we go. That's it. Before I have my too much gene just kind of take over, I am going to be done. I'm just going to wipe off some of that pinky pickled raspberry, just kidding, picked raspberry off of my brush just before I set it away. And I'll do the same with this one so I don't have any mustard seed on my picked raspberry brush. Yes, I could wash this off. Do I have plumbing upstairs? No, I do not. So there's that. Nobody asked. Okay, I will probably be washing this one off later, but here we are. Life hack, you can have a piece of paper be your blending sheet when you're filming with a million lights so you won't have reflective things on the camera. All right, in an ideal world, this would dry and I wouldn't get ink all over my fingers. Yeah, this is not the ideal world. So we're just gonna wing it and put it on anyway because that just sounds like a great plan, doesn't it? So I am just going to actually not even put the tape on that piece. I'm gonna put it on this piece. And no, I am not going to the edge because that piece is just a little bit smaller than 5 by 7, maybe 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I don't know, but we're just going to wing it. There's a little pun there because this is a hummingbird card and we are winging it. Haha, you're welcome for the horrible dad joke. There we are. Is it perfect? No. Is it really pretty? That's what I was going for. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of I don't want anything that's gonna take too much of the ink off. I think I'm gonna grab a Post-it note and just kind of press it down. Oh good, the ink's not transferring. I was gonna grab a Kleenex or like one of my craft Norwex cloths, but I feel like that would take the ink off of it and we did not want to do that. Post-it for the win yet again. Okay, see, I like that so much better than just the plain blue. Okay, I am like now even more excited about this card because it has beautiful background. Now I'm going to add glue to the back and we will just get this card going. Then of course we're going to add rhinestones and wink of Stella and make it a shining, shimmering, splendid kind of a card. If you know what that's from, you're my kind of person, you know? I'm going to grab that Post-it note again and use that to press down because I am certain that my background ink is still rather wet. Okay, that sound is kind of annoying. Okay, lastly, like I said, I'm going to add some bling. So where is my Stella pen? Here she is. Okay, now what's going to have the Stella is going to be the hummingbird's wings. And I'm just going to follow the lines on the hummingbird. This is exactly what I did on the large hummingbird. And I just love the way that it looks. So I just am going to replicate that here and hope for the best. Oh, it looks like a little bit of that ink got onto my pen. And now the hummingbird has a little bit of yellow on it, which is not the end of the world. At least it matches the background. Oh, this is so pretty. I don't even think I'm going to put a sentiment on this card because I don't feel like it needs one. There's so much going on here, and I think that this would be a gorgeous Mother's Day card, a birthday card, kind of a get well cheerful card, happy spring, happy summer, happy retirement, etc. Happy you just had a baby, congratulations. I don't even know, graduation even. Anyone who likes beautiful pinky things I think would love this card. Okay, and then I'm going to also add on gems to the flowers. I'm going to use these ones. Here's the packaging for it. It was the Crystal Mix. And as you can see, I really enjoy this pack. I am almost out of them. So I need to pick those up. And I really should do that before the buy one, get one free sale is done on the Spellbinders website. But Note to self, order gems. If only that was my to-do list every day. Anyway, if you are ordering this die, I'd love to know, what are you going to make your what color are you going to make your hummingbirds? Are you going to make pink, blue, teal, yellow? I would love to know. And if you are just looking for inspiration with this die, go ahead and remake this card. I'd love to see your remake of it. And the best way to show me what you make is to join my Facebook group. I have a Spellbinders Maker group, so that is linked in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and join in on the fun and see all of the beautiful things people make. I am just in awe of all of the creativity that everyone has in the world. I think it's beautiful. The human mind, you know? Anyway, this is the finished look at my card. I hope you love it. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!